of the round, sworn defenders of all who oppress the nerd. Now, onto the round table. Listen to what they say, for their words will guide you.
Alright, and it's recording. Perfect. It's another nerdy night as my roundtable joins me, Ben, the Ridiculous Riddick, in another E3 Impressions video. Joining me tonight, Miranda Sanchez.
Hello! Joining you from my closet.
Yeah.
Surprise.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us, Miranda. It's been a long time since we've done something together.
It's a very long time.
Yeah.
The last thing we did. It was a long time ago.
I don't either. It was before you lived out here.
That's true.
So, however long ago that was.
Okay. It's a long time.
Yeah. So, let's just go ahead and jump straight into E3 stuff.
Yeah.
So, tell me, were you at E3?
I was at E3. I was running around all over E3. So many appointments. It was a ton of fun, and also, I don't think I've ever been so tired in my life. This is my second E3, and somehow this year, even though there were supposed to be, like, fewer things, people were, like, really worried about it, was way more packed than last year for me, so.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you got a completely different view of E3 than anyone I've interviewed so far, which is exciting. So I am very curious to hear some of the things that you felt about E3. Overall, what did you think of this year's conferences? I
think a lot of them treaded common ground, like things that we already knew about. They just gave us more details, and it didn't feel like there was as many announcements. There were, but it didn't feel like a lot of them brought many new things to the table. Though a lot of the stuff we got updates on were good updates, so I enjoyed that.
Yeah, and I mean, last year they had a lot of VR stuff that they were bringing out to the table, and this year not as much of the new stuff. What did you think was what was your favorite conference out of all of them?
It's hard because there's things that I liked from each individual one, but I think the one that did the best show was definitely Sony, which I also kind of expected because they're pushing PSVR this year, and everyone's just like, well, Sony nailed it with all the games. I'm like, well, they better have, because they're releasing a new thing. Yeah,
no kidding. There better be games to play on that thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And they had like just so much cool stuff to offer. Seeing more from Horizon is super exciting. That
whole demo just got me even more excited about a game I was already super excited about.
So one game that I wasn't really excited for is The Last Guardian. Like, it's just one of those things like, oh, it's finally coming out. Woo!
Yay!
Cool. We'll see more, I guess, later. And whenever they started playing the trailer, I almost started crying.
Oh wow!
And I was just like, I don't know why I'm crying. This bird dog is so cute. And I just couldn't control myself, and I was trying to write news. I was like, oh my god, bird dog, you're so sad.
And then there were two bird dogs.
And then there's like Shadow Bird Dog or Nana Bird Dog. I don't know. But that was really fun. But I also really enjoy Bethesda's, because I generally just love a lot of things Bethesda puts out. I am on the Vault IGN podcast, and we talk about Fallout all the time. So when they were announcing all the new Fallout DLC, I was like, yes!
So you're excited about creating your own Vault, bringing...
Oh my gosh, yes. I am so excited. I actually been playing with my boyfriend since... we started Fallout together, and we were planning to split off and do our own thing, but we just never did. So we've been playing all this time, and we haven't really done much of the creation stuff. Like, we've done a little bit, but this kind of gives me more incentive to jump back into there. And they already have the Contraptions Workshop. I think I forget what it's called exactly. Maybe it's Contraptions.
I think it's just Contraptions.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
Yeah, DLC, and where you can build like crazy stuff. And I think Naomi did a live stream for IGN, and I was watching some of that, and they built some like really cool things. And so I'm really excited to get my hands on that too. And the Nuka World, Nuka-Cola World, to an old theme park. It seems so cool. So I was very happy with that. And, of course, Dishonored 2, because Dishonored is my thing, and I was so excited to see more. It's always cool to see Harvey Smith speak, because I really like his writing a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So.
The only thing I didn't like about the Dishonored 2 stuff is it was so broken up throughout the conference that I would pay attention, and then they would move on to something else, and then I would stop paying attention for a second, and then I'd look back, and I was like, oh, this game looks really cool. Oh, it's just more Dishonored. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Their Dishonored presentation was a little weird, because at first they were just kind of doing like a lot of cinematic things, but not even like in-game. Just like, look at these pans of a bird in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, okay. Cool, that's a nice bird.
It got me excited enough about the game to pre-order so that I could play Dishonored 1, though.
Oh, yeah, I want to get, or I'm going to pre-order their limited edition one, because it comes with like Corvo's mask and Emily's ring, and I love Emily so much. Like, we're already in love, and I only knew her as a child, but I'm like, you're going to be a great adult. I'm not even worried.
No, that game does look like a lot of fun. You know, so explain to me, get me excited about this Fallout DLC a little more. Because I started Fallout 4, and I just, like, I loved Fallout 3, I loved New Vegas, but something about 4, I fell off of it very quickly.
So, here's the thing. I actually still haven't finished the main campaign. I'm very close to I'm, like, at the end. But I chose not to, because I think, while I like a lot of the stuff that surrounds Fallout 4's campaign, I think that the campaign itself isn't super strong, because of the factions and how they feel they're not very fluid, I guess is the way to say. A lot of your answers feel very straight in Fallout 4, whereas in 3 I think they did feel a little bit more open-ended, and like how your character was perceived, and how you could be with other groups. But I think these groups just aren't as interesting. But I still love Fallout 4 a bunch, because I love AI stuff and Android and those kind of stories. And so the stories with the synths is just like super interesting to me. So I was really engaged in that. But the DLC so far, I think, has been really great. I don't know if you played Far Harbor, but it is really, really cool. And so that's really one of the reasons I was so excited for the new DLC. And the Automatron DLC too was really cool with Mechanist. Like introducing all those robots. It's fun, and you get to build your own robot companion. And it was just like, even though that was like one of the smaller DLCs of the pack, it was still a lot of fun, and I like the mission that I had for it. So I have faith that these new ones are also going to be like just as fun. And plus, building your own vault is like super appealing.
The whole building your own vault thing is what sounds really exciting to me. Just because I love the iOS app so much.
Oh yeah.
Fallout Shelter.
Yeah, I like so much of that.
I still play a lot of that. It's a blast. So I can't wait to get the console big 3D version of something similar, and running my own vault experiments.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Be nice, maybe.
Maybe.
I don't think we're there to be nice, though.
No. I sure hope not. So obviously, yeah, PlayStation was a big one. What did you think of the Xbox conference?
So the weird thing with a lot of the conferences is when you're doing news, you don't really watch the conference. So that one, I think, because I did news for all of them. But Microsoft was somehow the one I remembered the least, just because I had to be on so many news stories, because we had a smaller staff than we did for Sony.
Okay.
So, different perspectives. I am super into Gears of War 4. So we saw the demo on stage, and it's really cool. I like the environmental stuff a lot. So, do you want to talk about Gears?
Oh, absolutely. I would love to talk about Gears.
So this is, like they said in the trailer and stuff, and all this we've heard about Gears of War 4 so far, is that it takes place like 25 years after 3. The world is like in ruin because of the stuff they did to get rid of the emulsion, and all that war stuff is done, but now the Earth is just like terrible, and like there's tons of bad weather. It's like can't live out there anymore. And they're basically living in these walled-in cities. And the big focus on like the Earth being like destroyed is really cool because it brings in those weather effects in combat. And I really hope it happens more organically, that like whenever you shoot things and if it breaks and it will actually fly into like your teammates or the enemies, like I really hope it's not just like a stage thing, because it seems like it'd be really cool for combat.
Yeah, absolutely. Gears. This is the first Gears I've been excited about since Gears 1. I mean, I played Gears of War 1 and I played halfway through Gears of War 2.
Okay.
And I just don't think those were the kind of games that I was into at the time. So I didn't even look at Gears of War 3, but watching the stuff for Gears 4, it just looks really awesome.
I played 1 through 3 and I hadn't touched Judgment for some reason. I think
that's right, there was that one
it's
too.
like one of those times when there's a game that comes out and you're like, oh yeah, I'll get around to it, and then you just never do. And it's happened with me in Judgment. But for 4, what really has me interested is that they're kind of scaling back to a 3-person team, which is what they had previously in the 4, or 3 had like 4 and some other ones. And that's fine, but it feels a lot more intimate with this team. So the demo I got to play behind closed doors was actually different from the one they showed on stage. And if you want to read more, you can see my article on IGN.
Which I'll put a link down there in the YouTube.
Yes, I have that preview. But to talk more about it, what I really liked is that these protagonists are like the kids of, or the main guy is Marcus Phoenix's son, and that's like really cool. And these kids didn't have anything to do with like, you know, the previous world. Like they don't know how the world was before they were walled off into these smaller colonies, and they're out looking for one of their friends' moms in her village that was like taken by these new monsters, and they're just so unsure, and it's great because they seem like little kids almost, but not in an annoying way. They're just very unsure about the world because they don't know anything, because they've been living in a very small community and they don't know these new enemies. And that's like a really good contrast with the original Gears of War cast, who were like, you know, we're Gears, we're like totally ready to go, we're gonna slaughter everything, like they're like tested and they know what's going on. Whereas these guys really rely on other people to help them get through the world. And the demo I played, where they said was their guide, who was like I forget her name, I think it's Kate, her uncle had just gotten kidnapped and we were on the like to go find him. So it's cool hearing them, and of course like they're still like really brutish in battle and stuff, and it's like gruesome, and they're not gonna just beat babies in battle, but it's just interesting hearing them being unsure about like what's happening and not necessarily like, completely confident in themselves. So that is like actually really appealing to me. And also the new weapons were fantastic. Gosh, I forget what the name is, but there's this one like huge gun that shoots discs and they bounce off walls and stuff. Like they have one bounce and they disintegrate or whatever, and it is the coolest thing.
It sounds like that record gun in Sunset Overdrive.
Yeah.
It's called the Buzzkill. At least that's what you wrote in your preview.
Oh yes, the Buzzkill. Yeah, I couldn't remember what it's called, but yeah, it's real good. I decapitated some guys. Yeah.
No, I mean that is something about the Gears games. They've always been cinematically really awesome looking games. Like the set pieces that they create are just epic. And you just got me even more excited about this game.
Yeah,
with your description.
I know the multiplayer beta that they had a while ago was super underwhelming for a lot of people. So I'm excited to see more about what they put out. I'm always down for Horde, so that's, I mean, for the multiplayer side.
Horde 3.0.
So exciting, yeah. So I hope whatever else they release and stuff will be a lot more promising. Like I said, of what I got to play from the campaign is only like 20 minutes or so, but it was still like really cool and definitely got me interested in Gears of War 4. So
excellent.
Yeah.
Then I'll definitely be excited to play that. Any excitement over the Xbox One S or the Scorpio?
I guess I'd be more interested in Scorpio because I already have an Xbox One, so I don't really want an S. I don't need to buy a new one yet, so It's just interesting to see how, like, the consoles are kind of finally taking a look at the rest of technology. Like, all right, we're going to be like phones and it's going to update every few years. Maybe. I mean, like, that could be a trend. This could be the only big update we get for, like, consoles. But, I mean, if you look at the Nintendo DS line, that's that gets a lot of updates, so...
And still sells like hotcakes.
I mean, yeah, they have, like, a lot of cool exclusive ones, but they're only in Japan, usually, which stinks.
Yeah, it just upsets you.
Yeah, they have so many cool ones come out. But they never make it out here, which is sad. But anyway.
I would imagine that you would have a Pikachu DS, right?
Do.
Yeah.
I do. I have the special edition one that they had the XL.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah.
See, my closest Pikachu is my little amiibo.
Aww. I don't know where my closest one is.
I'm surprised you don't have one with you everywhere.
So, yeah, I usually do, but we're in my closet. So I actually have some up on a shelf, but they're out of reach. So.
So we're talking a little bit about Nintendo. The Nintendo Treehouse stuff.
I saw the very first Zelda stuff and the very first Pokemon stuff, and that was it.
That is all I saw too.
I had to bounce because like it was just streaming all the time. It's like I can't sit here and just watch. I have appointments to go to and things to write. So unfortunately, I didn't get to see all of it. And I know they announced like a lot of stuff too. So, you know.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. What you did see of Zelda? Are you excited?
Gosh. I am so excited. I got to play so much of Zelda, and I'm so lucky.
Oh man, I'm jealous.
Me and Kelly Plaguey, one of my coworkers, had an appointment to go, and so we had like an hour booked of playing their 2 demos.
Oh, nice.
And then we got to play with the Link amiibo, and it was so good. Like the Wolf Link. He's so powerful and aggressive. I was like, dang.
Like that whole aspect of the game, just I was so super stoked about. And so you actually got a chance to play it. Are you allowed to talk about how the gameplay was?
Oh, of course.
Okay, cool. Just making sure.
There's tons of impressions online. Like Jose has written a bunch of stuff up on IGN. It was really cool. I get so like flushed a little when I talk about it because it's like finally new Zelda. I'm so excited. So, like I said, I got to play quite a bit. It was limited to a very small area. Like they made sure you could not sneak around and try to get out anywhere else in this beginning on your area. So a lot of what I did, you could probably actually see on the Nintendo Treehouse stream because they got pretty far. But as far as it handles, like it handles really, really well. It felt very intuitive. I got to like jump off like cliffs and pull out the bow and arrow and like make killer shots. It was like it makes you feel really cool.
Like jumping up 360 no scope, right?
Yeah, of course. One of the things I'm actually really excited for that I don't think too many people have talked about is cooking.
Cooking?
Yeah, because you cook in the game. And you can make so many recipes, but there's not like, at least for where I was at, like maybe you get one eventually, like a cookbook or anything. So it'd be cool to see like what combinations you have. So the way you cook is like you find things in the environment and then you go to your menu and you have like hold things. You can hold up to 5 things. You have to be by a certain cooking station, which has to have a lit fire, and if you don't light the fire, you can't cook. Yada yada.
Makes sense.
So I went, lit my fire, went to my menu, and grabbed a bunch of stuff. And so I was trying to make I think it was like spicy jelly or something that gave Link inner heat because the weather actually affects you, so that you can get too hot or too cold, and that will deplete Link's hearts. So that's a cool survival aspect. So I was trying to climb this mountain that was like covered in snow and stuff. It was really cold. And so I couldn't get over there because I wasn't wearing the right outfit. Because I didn't or at the time I didn't know, but we had a tunic that would help us with the cold, but we didn't know. Anyway, not knowing that, I tried to make the spicy jelly, I think. And so we found some choo-choo jelly and a butterfly to make the spicy stuff, because like the butterflies. Sorry, I'm getting like super detailed, but
absolutely, it makes complete and total sense that butterflies would be spicy.
The butterflies are spicy, and catching them, like you actually have to sneak up on them to catch them, or else they'll just like fly away.
Kind of like catching bugs in what was it, Twilight Princess?
Yeah. So it's like applicable. Like you have to actually be sneaky, or else shit will just run away. And so I finally caught a butterfly. And it took forever because I accidentally scared away the first one. It was kind of hard to find the second one. And, like, it's on a time. Like, our demos are on timers.
Right.
So I was trying to do it really quickly so we could get as far as possible. And, like, every time we did the demo, we would just try to get further and further. And so I finally caught a butterfly, and I was getting ready to put it in the pot. And somebody behind me said something, so I turned around and I accidentally hit the stick. And I was just turned off enough to look away from the pot. And when I dropped everything, I dropped the jelly and the butterfly on the ground, and the butterfly's alive, so it just flew away. But my choo-choo jelly turned red because it hit the fire. So that was cool. The moral of the story is your stuff can change depending on what you do with it. So, like, I accidentally dropped my jelly in the fire, and it turned red. And it was just so cool. Like, just, like, little things like that. Like, just exploring it. Like, it really has that good sense of wonder that you want in an open world game. Like, people I think have been kind of refraining from calling it open world. But it absolutely is just, like, exploring and trying to figure out where you're going to go. And it was just really cool to experiment with those kind of things. Like, one time, I think, in my inventory, I had it preloaded with some meat and some, like, a spicy pepper and some stuff. And so then I found some mushrooms, and then I mixed a bunch of mushrooms and the meat and the pepper, and I made, like, this really pretty steak dinner. I was like, yeah. So I was like, oh, I only made shish kebabs. I'm like, haha. Cooking skills are superior.
It definitely sounds like the immersion in this one is going to be just so, like, light years ahead of what we've seen so far.
Yeah, it definitely is going to be cool. So I'm all aboard that one. I hope I get to do some stuff for work, and if not, I'm just going to play a bunch of them. So.
Any excitement about the Pokemon stuff that you did get to see?
So it's just on the live stream stuff. It went a little too long, if you ask me.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
For me, the biggest annoying thing about that was the not active translation that was going on.
Oh, yeah.
So it'd be like, long anecdote ends in question. Now, okay, this person's going to translate long anecdote into question, and then this person is going to say another long anecdote, and then answer the question. By the time the question's answered, I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, it was... I mean, I'm excited for Pokemon. It's...
Oh, yeah.
Pokemon.
Absolutely.
I think they're announcing some more news later this week or something, so I'm just excited to see what else they'll show off. I don't know, my camera's flickering. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
But, yeah, it's Pokemon.
Yeah, Pokemon is Pokemon. And
I spotted a Pikachu, and so I spotted Pikachu whenever they go to the arena at the festival, and I was like, Pikachu spotting, and it's like in the very far back, and you can just see its ears. But then the other trainer summoned a Pichu, and they're like, Miranda, that's a Pichu. I was like, please, don't explain Pokemon to me. It's in the back. And they're like, oh. I was like, yeah.
Oh, gosh. That's hilarious.
I was just like,
I would never challenge your Pikachu and Pokemon knowledge.
Yeah, but yeah, that's bad for Pokemon.
Yeah. So let's talk about your most anticipated game that you saw at E3.
That's so hard because there's so many good games. Like, I guess I would have to say Zelda because I have been waiting for so long. Aside from that, it's definitely going to be like Dishonored 2.
Okay.
Because I just love Dishonored so much. But it's really a matchup against those two.
Oh wow, you're the first Dishonored 2 that I've heard.
It. It was like one of the first one of the very only games I've ever felt like I needed to immediately replay it after I finished it.
Oh wow.
So, yeah.
Okay. Man, I can't wait to finish that game then.
Oh yeah, I hope you love it.
Let's see, what else? Oh, I guess I have one more big question for you.
Okay.
Okay? And this is one that I've been asking everyone. because I seem to be the only one of the Nerdy Knights that is so incredibly excited about this game. And that's Steep.
Steep?
Yeah, so Ubisoft, at the end of their conference, they showed off this skiing, snowboarding.
Mountain View.
Yes.
View one.
Yeah. And I am just so incredibly excited about it. It looks so pretty, and I love skiing, and they're putting skiing in a game. It's exciting.
I really liked Amped when I was younger.
Yeah, those are about the responses I've been getting.
Yeah, it's like, well, I used to like those. Yeah, I'm not super into it, but I'm glad you are.
Oh, it looks so good.
It looks really pretty. It's like really cool. I like how you can just like drop it and change what you're doing anywhere. But.
Yeah, and then going and seeing different views of the exact same. I'm excited, and it's mountains from where I'm from, so it's even more exciting. All right. Do you have anything else you want to add into the E3 stuff?
I was a little disappointed with Mass Effect, and that we're not going to get anything on Andromeda until like later this fall. Mm-hmm. But I'm super excited.
I know.
Like, oh,
see, Mass Effect is probably my #1 favorite video game franchise, and I can't wait. I don't care how long they take with it, as long as they take their time and it's great.
I'd rather be ready and them take their time than us have to. Them rush it and like have to deal with like a bunch of patches or something weird, or I don't know. You know,
because
be ready.
I'm in the camp. I loved even the ending of Mass Effect 3.
Yeah, I totally enjoyed 3. Like people were like, "Oh, 3 is the worst." No,
I love.
Have a hard time choosing between 3 and 2.
Yep. Yeah. Thank you. I am so glad that there's another person out there that agrees with me about Mass Effect 3.
When I got home from E3, me and my boyfriend started replaying the trilogy, so we already beat 1 and we're on to 2. So
I've been wanting to replay the trilogy, and I've been thinking about doing it on Xbox because I bought those games digitally way back in the day.
Oh yeah,
and they're all backwards compatible, so it's like
not all of them, just the first one so far.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah, we're playing on the 360, so.
Okay, well, maybe they'll make it playable on. Who knows? I'm excited about Mass Effect. I feel like they might have announced it too early, but I just don't even care. Like I said,
I got to have an interview with Mac Walters.
Mm-hmm.
He's a creative director at BioWare about Mass Effect, and it was really cool because we talked about dating and stuff. That's important.
So, since we're talking about Mass Effect, just for a minute, who was your love interest? Yes.
Yeah. So when I first played, it was Garrus.
Mm-hmm.
Garrus, my space boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And this time around, I'm playing as male Shepard.
Okay.
So I think we're gonna date Liara.
Yeah.
Even though I love Tali. Tali is number one girl. She's best girl.
Yep.
She rules. But yeah. I'm supposed to learn more about Liara for some reason, so I'm dating Liara.
Yep. That was me. My whole playthrough of the first time. It was, I wish I could be with Tali, but I guess I'll go with Liara. And then at the end, during 3, when I found out, oh my god, now I have to replay 1 and 2, and have no love interest with anyone, so that I can go through the part with Tali where it's like, oh no, I've just been waiting for you, and that was.
Oh. So the cool thing is that if you don't date Garrus or Tali, they get together.
I know.
I love it so much. Like I almost want that way more than me dating either of them. like you guys
are adorable.
Are the best.
Unless I did not realize that one of the things that could happen in Mass Effect 3 until much later on was that Tali commits suicide in Mass Effect 3. It's like, oh my god, no!
So on my first playthrough, it was kind of cool because I was playing with my boyfriend. He had played them all like 6 times previously. And we were playing all of them in a month because I hadn't played them before, and so I was just like, all right,
oh my gosh.
I know, I loved it. Like we didn't try to play them in a month, we just did because I loved it so much.
They're so good! So good!
So Brian was kind of my guide because he had done it so many times, and I didn't really mind him helping me get everything right, which I usually do, but I was like, nah, that's fine. I need to save everybody. We're all gonna make it through. And we had done something out of order for Tally, and Brian said something really bad happens to Tally if you don't get everything right, and we thought we had.
Oh no!
And we didn't. And I was like crying. I was like, turn it off the Xbox. And then we did it. We restarted and we saved Tally.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's heartbreaking.
They both have to be okay.
Yeah, they do.
Geth and the Quarians have to be okay.
They have to be friends.
And we made them okay, so it's okay.
Although
it's really bad.
The whole Legion thing was kind of sad at the end too.
Yeah.
I liked Legion.
I love Legion.
God,
yeah.
It's
cute.
Just everything about Mass Effect I love so much. It's so great, and I've done like so many playthroughs, both as male Shepard and femme Shep, and just I love that game.
Morden. We just got him, and I'm just like, no. Anyway.
Yeah. God, I forgot about Morden.
Hey, everybody, just go play Mass Effect.
Yeah, that's what you should learn from this E3 Impressions show. Is if you've never played Mass Effect, just go do it. Go do it right now. Turn the show off and go do it. All right, let's go ahead and wrap up. Miranda, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at HavocGrossens, Havoc with a K, and on IGN. I am the host of IGN Anime Club. It's our anime show. I'm going to Anime Expo next weekend, so be sure to tune in, because we'll be talking a bunch about that in the next few weeks and about the new summer season. I'm also on Vault IGN, which will probably be back soon because we want to talk about the E3 stuff. And yeah, I just do a bunch of stuff for IGN in general. So.
All right. And I'll put links to all of that stuff in the description below so you can find Miranda very, very easily. Don't forget you can follow me on Twitter at BRidiculous. That's BRIDDICKULOUS. And of course everything Nerdy Nights related at nerdy_nights. And on our website, www.nkrn.org. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Go out and defend the realm of the Nerdy Nights. And until next week, remember, it's dangerous to go alone. All right.